Nothing conquerable is for eternity destiny, doom, and narrative voice. In the world of fantasy and science fiction, we often encounter narrative voices that pose a seemingly insurmountable problem, the relentless march of fate, destiny, or the idea that certain events are set in motion and cannot be changed, is a pervasive theme in many genres. Think of the ancient Greek concept of Moira, where the threads of fate are woven into an unstoppable tapestry. Similarly, in J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth, the Valur, or angelic beings, shape the course of history with an inexorable will. These narrative voices tell us that, in the grand scheme of things, some events are inescapable, and our choices are ultimately futile against the crushing weight of destiny. Take, for example, the character of Anakin Skywalker in the Star Wars prequels. From his early days as a slave on Tatooine to his transformation into Darth Vader, Anakin's fate is all but sealed. Despite his aspirations and efforts to defy it, he is drawn inexorably towards his ultimate destiny, becoming the chosen instrument of the Sith Lord's will. This narrative voice speaks to a deep-seated fear that our lives are predetermined, and that our free will is an illusion. It's a clever way to create tension and drama in a story, as characters must come to terms with their own mortality and the inevitability of their circumstances. However, this is not to say that these narrative voices are one-dimensional or formulaic. The best stories often use the concept of destiny to explore the human condition, delving into themes of free will, agency, and the complexities of moral choice. In works like Shirley Jackson's The Lottery, for example, the absurdity of a supposedly predetermined fate serves as a scathing commentary on the dangers of conformity and the erosion of individuality. By challenging our assumptions about destiny and the nature of narrative voice, these stories invite us to reflect on our own place within the grand tapestry of time, in the realm of destiny, where the threads of fate are woven and unwoven, and eternal truth persists. Nothing conquerable is for eternity. This profound notion suggests that anything that can be vanquished, overcome, or transcended is, by its very nature, temporary and ephemeral. Think of it as the converse of the phrase eternal recurrence, where events repeat themselves infinitely. Instead, nothing conquerable is for eternity implies that once something is conquered, it loses its eternal significance. Consider the concept of legend, a person or event that becomes so revered that it transcends mortality. Yet, if a legend can be defeated or discredited, it loses its legendary status, rendering it no longer eternal. This idea speaks to the human condition in profound ways. Our struggles, triumphs, and tragedies are all attempts to leave a lasting mark on the world. We strive to create art, build empires, and forge legacies that will outlast us. But the truth is, once something is conquerable, it becomes subject to the whims of fate and the ravages of time. Our greatest achievements, our most iconic works of art, and our most revered heroes are all susceptible to the ravages of history. Even the most seemingly eternal empires, Rome, Britain, or the United States, have fallen to the passage of time. This doctrine serves as a poignant reminder that nothing we create or achieve is truly eternal, and that our best efforts will ultimately be subject to the forces of change and decay. The narrative voice, as a tool of storytelling, is deeply tied to this concept. The way we tell stories about our triumphs and tragedies, our struggles and our victories, is a reflection of our attempts to transcend mortality and leave a lasting impact on the world. The voice of the narrator, whether it's the omniscient third-person perspective or the first-person account of a protagonist, serves as a lens through which we gaze upon the world. It's a reminder that even the most epic tales, the most legendary heroes, and the most enduring works of art are all subject to the corrosive effects of time and the capricious whims of fate. Ultimately, The narrative voice reminds us that nothing conquerable is truly eternal, and that our stories, our art, and our legacies are all temporary, fleeting things.